What's going on, guys? Graded Investors back with another episode here. Today is going to be a little bit of a Q&A. I've been seeing a ton of people getting into the hobby lately that have just kind of had questions. I've been seeing a lot of turmoil going on online when it comes to the market and just kind of cards in general. The hype cycle kind of died down. Is it still a good time to buy? Things like that. I'm getting a lot of questions like that. So this is Emmett Ross with Graded Investors, here to answer a few of your questions. So I'll just start off with read them off here for you guys, giving you a quick little explanation of what I think, what's going on. Again, this is not going to be quote unquote financial advice. Everyone's going to do their own research, or you should do your own research, as well as look into this is going to be this is a hobby, as well as a lot of people jumping into it now just for investments. So only invest what you can afford to lose. And again, do your research on a lot of this stuff. This doesn't come overnight. You're not going to see profits overnight. You're going to have to put in the work like the rest of us here and do your due diligence. So without any further ado, we've got the big question. Is it a good time to jump into the market? So personally, I think it's a great time to jump into the market. I've been doing this for a long time. It's a hobby of mine. So that's why I think it's always a great time to jump into the market, no matter what you're doing. There's always going to be deals out there, and there's always going to be cards that are fun to collect. It depends on what you're into and what you're getting into the hobby for. I personally started getting into the hobby just because I enjoyed going to the card shop with my family, my brother, my dad, my grandpa, mom, grandma, like back in the day. That's why I enjoyed going, and that's why I enjoyed starting collecting. But again, if it's going to be something that you jump into for a quick cash grab, I don't know if it's going to be, you're going to get the return that you want to right away. For now, I think it's a great market just because the market has softened up. The hype cycle died down. The Logan Paul effect has not been around for the but the trading card market in a long time. So Pokemon has taken a bit of a dip, which has made it more accessible to us collectors out there to get our hands on what we've been looking for, as well as make a good profit on these things to buy and hold them. So to shorten my answer, yes, I think it's a great time to get on the market, whether you're looking to get into the sports card market or the trading card market, as in Pokemon. For sports, I think it's a great time to get into these different kind of oddball collection items. There's kind of players you don't think are that are kind of down right now. I think players that are kind of just tailed off of the NBA playoffs, maybe got eliminated, those are going to be your good time to jump in, buy those guys, and then jump back in the market and sell them when you can later on for a profit. Next question I've got, is this market affected by any other asset class? Mainly this was asked by someone who was big into the crypto market. So crypto, people have been taking a lot of their gains from the cryptocurrency market and have been investing them into the sports card market. So a lot of people who have gambled essentially and made a ton of money on their crypto investments are now finding their way into the card market. So people have been able to buy these nicer, higher end vintage cards, which is good on them. I think it's a great long-term investment. Like these cards, these players aren't going anywhere. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Patrick Mahomes, these are great guys to tag along to and attach your money to. With these cryptocurrencies, these projects are not going to be around for very long. Who knows which one's gonna take off and who's going to be the final leader when it comes to, is it Bitcoin? Is it Dogecoin? Is it X, Y, and Z coin? What's it going to be? Is it Shiba coin? No one knows, but you can really count on the sports card market to really ramp up. And the collectibles market has been increasing over the years. It's a proven fact on that one. Steadily going up over time. It's been a solid asset class where a lot of wealthy people park their money. Art, collectibles, that whole side of things. So It is affected by the sports card, the crypto market or the other market, because it does drive prices up a little bit on these things because people can afford to buy these more expensive cards with their crypto market returns. Next one is, do you have a preference when it comes to buying right now? So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit on that one. Do I have a preference on what I'm buying right now? Yes, but I always have a preference on what I'm buying. I typically I buy. I mean, I'm into weird sports. I buy a lot of different things. So these F1 cards slowly are starting to get a little more popular, just because of people who are not necessarily in the sport recognize that Lewis Hamilton is an absolute icon at this point. He is on the cover of GQ. He is Tommy Hilfiger's main ambassador. He is a lovely personality to have in the sport. So he is the all-time leader when it comes to race wins, when it comes to world championships. He's going for another one this year. It's a smart time to buy his cards when you can get them for a relatively cheap price. That's kind of where I'm at when it comes to buying those kinds of things. I'm now starting to buy into some vintage Pokemon again, just because the price on those is sliding a little bit. But I think those, again, will go up. The most recent Golden auction had a first edition Beckett 10, I believe, was the Lugia, the first non-Charizard card to sell for over 100,000. That one sold for about 145,000. So that's good to see the market, the higher end market on that one really start to go up. Those are the type of cards that I'm looking into, trying to buy those things raw, as well as the preference of cards. These cards are not going to go out of style. They're not going to die out. They're not going to be like the big Pokemon boom was earlier in 2020, when things you can buy base set cards, just non-hollows, things like that, and selling them for thousands of dollars during that little gold rush when kids were getting in and getting out, getting their money, selling things at the top. Let's see. The other biggest thing I can say with this question is definitely going to be the higher end classic vintage guys. Obviously, you're never going to go wrong with your Kobe Bryants, LeBron James, the Michael Jordan. These guys are just not going anywhere. That's my biggest thing. Tom Brady, not going anywhere. Unless these guys are in the news with some scandal, they're safe to buy. Buy these guys when you can. That's who I'm buying. Next, one of the big ones that we also get here, I won't speak for Josh, but for myself, the question we get is, why do we make content? Him and I have went back and forth on this a few times, and we just come from creative backgrounds, and we both have jobs right now, 9-to-5s that we work now, but that are not necessarily the most creative jobs. So we like to do this as a creative outlet and to have a lot of fun, actually, just meeting different parts of the community and people within the community that allow us to do what we like to do. And we like to showcase what we're doing with these cards. We have a lot of fun and have met a lot of great people just collecting sports cards, collecting trading cards, Formula One cards, everything. So you meet a lot of people, Facebook market, tons of fun people on there, Facebook groups, Instagram DMs. I know I've met a few people that I would call my quote unquote internet friends now. I know this now Canadian guy. He's big into the Formula One stuff like I am. So him and I are shooting text back and forth like, hey, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? What do you think about 2021 is going to look like? Is this a sustainable market with the Topps Chrome? Do we look at this card as Lewis Hamilton's rookie card because he's still in his quote unquote, it's still the first kind of Topps Chrome card he has? Or is this going to be something that we have to look back on and find stickers for, like different traditional football guys that are in the stickers? But that's something that why we create content, is so we can have those relationships, and it goes outside of just the whole collector's market. It's getting to know different people around the world, and make a good connection with them. It's awesome. Probably my last question here is, what are the market projections and trends that we see coming. Again, I won't speak for Josh, but for myself, market trend, I think the sports card market will stay soft for a good amount of time here. Don't know what's happening with the other crypto stuff and the stock market, real estate market. Don't know what's happening with that. So I think collectibles will stay soft for the moment. But again, the trends that I see coming are going to be buy football before the season starts. It's June now. It's almost towards the end of June, getting into July here. Once August starts rolling around, cards are going to be going up in value even more than what we thought. Once we start seeing Justin Herbert on the field again, once we start seeing Patrick Mahomes out there again, once we see TB12 going out there again, slinging it, like this is going to be, those cards are going to go back up in value. Buy them when you can at the dip here and sell them or hold them. Like I said, hold those Tom Brady cards, get those graded. Those are never going to go out of style. Those are always going to be cards that are worth something. So that's what I've got for you today. My name's Emmett Ross from Graded Investors. Look forward to seeing with you guys again. Happy investing, y'all.